Good morning and welcome to Gray Barn Antiques. I'm going to do a short little shop tour this morning just so you can see the basic layout of Gray Barn and get an idea of where all your favorite booths are that we do feature in our videos here on our YouTube channel. Now all this stuff that's blocking the train booth and the lights aren't on there yet, it's because I'm doing this before we open. All this stuff ends up outside. Those lights go on as soon as we switch the open light. So if you go right to your left, you're going to see a little bit of gardening selection. And this vendor here in the front room is a 20% off vendor, items not marked firm. That is the same price for cash or credit card. Our train vendor does not offer a discount, but he does have excellent prices. And again, I apologize for blocking it with our outdoor stuff. You can see he's got a nice selection of Lionel, Standard and O gauge, as well as some Boy Scout memorabilia. He was actually an Eagle Scout, this vendor. So, and I'm just going to kind of those items that you do see. Well, the railroad sign is not for sale. That was a gift to my husband. But the farm market and the welcome are. Now, if you look directly to your right, you're going to see where the Bronx Man Cave moved. And he does have a couple other things throughout the shop. And again, there is some of our outdoor stuff blocking it. He has a nice selection of World's Fair stuff, vintage games. He's got some Hess trucks, and he is a 25% off vendor. A lot of great bottles, and this will actually have more lighting as well when I do turn on the open side. It's got a lot of great street signs too. Oh, and of course, when you walk straight in, the first thing you see is our opening used to be over here, if you remember that, but we moved this cabinet, and in doing so, we had to make it fit. We did that, and that has just a portion of the candy, which now goes like from here and then along the front, and there's a little cubby here and then along this wall. So, and that's also the jellies and the other stuff. So here's our front booth. And I'll try not to swirl the camera too fast because I know how that can be when you're viewing it. And I can't visit with every item because we are 3,600 square feet with over 20 vendors. And like I said, more lights do come on when we flip that open switch, including inside this cabinet. We have only just a few locked cases. There's one out here, and then there's the corner cabinet, and then we have the case room. We have a selection of hardware and knobs as well. We have these larger tin signs. They are new, and they are $10 each, as well as a selection of the smaller tin signs, which you might see in the video, and those are $9, and we have a lot of those as well. So if you do see anything in this video, our past videos, on our Instagram or our Facebook page, please do not hesitate to reach out and contact us to find out more information. We do ship the smaller items. Sometimes things like that mirror might ship because it's flat enough. So I don't know. My husband does all the packing and shipping. He does a great job. And we do ship all over the country. We have a weekly Facebook Live every Wednesday night at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. And we do sell quite a few items in that. And a lot of those do ship. He comes in Thursday morning and gets all that stuff prepared and ready to go out before he goes to his real job later in the afternoon. So he's a big help here. I couldn't do this without my husband. We wouldn't be over across in this new location if it wasn't for my husband. So he built all the cupolas in the back with the help of our vendor, Auntie's Attic, and his Uncle Steve. So it was a great crew that helped us move. And 2 weeks ago, June 2nd, we have been in this location now for 2 years. And September 1st is our 10-year anniversary of owning the Grain Barn. Next Wednesday night is our weekly Facebook Live, as I mentioned, and then Thursday the 22nd, we're going to be doing a jewelry sale. There's a couple pieces of sterling, but it's mostly costume. We don't have any gold or estate jewelry here. For that, you want to check next door at our neighbor at Andover Village, and Tatiana's in the Purple House. She has a lot of estate jewelry, and she actually buys and sells gold, so that's where we would send you for that. So this vendor, as you can see, has an eclectic mix. I can't spend my whole time in one booth, though, as much as I want to. July 15th and 16th, I want to say, we're actually going to have a Christmas in July sale. And that will be some Christmas items. And then, of course, like what our vendors usually do, some additional discounts. We're going to have vendors outside. It'll be fun. Now, this is our bird case. This was also over by the register at one point, by the counter. We have since moved that. This is 18 trays from our various vendors of all kinds of assorted goodies. You can see that's a lot of stuff in there. So there's a couple Hot Wheels and stuff that people love. Here's just a sampling of the costume jewelry that we have. Some more artwork and stuff from our vendor, the Bronx Man Cave. And this is what we call the case room. Even though it's not all locked cases, we have more vendors in here. We want to make sure you visit every spot in the shop so you're not missing out on anything. Each shelf is a different vendor in the cases, and their discounts are clearly indicated on these shelves. So we got some fairy lamps in. I know people love their fairy lamps, and these are 20% off. Those two are from Auntie's Attic. That just came in as well at $48 for the Mary Gregory. And I have two other fairy lamps right up here. So one in the back is $25.60, some small chips. And then the pine green in the front is $50 firm. So that's where you sometimes see that word firm. And those items do not have the discount. So if it doesn't have firm, like I said, you're getting at least 20% off. So you see we have, right on this side, we have the two lock cases. Then you have a bookcase that belongs to Vintage Crush, who also has a booth. And then this is Betty's Treasure. She's one of our vendors that has a built-in in the front room here. And then recently added a bookcase in addition to her booths is our Hip Chick. And Hip Chick is a 30% off vendor. And over here, we call him the Major. He's a retired U.S. Army Major. He served in Vietnam and stayed on and made a career in the military. So he has these two bookcases and then this corner with the built-ins. And he has a mix of Star Wars and a lot of militaria. And he was actually here when we did our summer marketplace a couple of weeks ago. He was here on Saturday, and he was actually authenticating, buying, selling. So it was a nice day. Now this is our newest vendor, Mia's Treasures. She has a bookcase up here. Longtime shopper. Now she's a vendor with us. I got the hiccups. That's great. Another one of our multi-vendor cases. Now this shelf here is Jazzy Junk, and then these two here are the Bronx Man Cave. The top has Burning Sensation and Redeemable. So, and again, here's another one of the lock cases, and again, multiple vendors in there, as well as this one. And we got these two cases from our friends over in Stanhope, Blue Heron Antiques, which if you love glass, if you love paperweights, fairy lamps, Tiffany lamps, all those beautiful colored glass and other antiques like that, theirs is the shop to go check out. It's over by the Stanhope House, right behind Bell's Mansion, right in the town of Stanhope. There it is. You have to go off the main road to get to it. So this is the front room again. They're still in the front. Counter is right behind me. And this is the little boutique-y area, which has newer stuff. We have some soaps, the goat milk soap. We have some really fun hats and headkerchiefs, you would call them. Some really pretty scarves. And I apologize for the mess. We always do we have a lot of packing materials and stuff going on here. And then we have the essential oils. We have some sage sticks. We do have an assortment of battery-operated candles. I have the little tea lights. What the heck? These glow yellow, and these are just 75 cents each. And then this is a vintage cabinet. There's some new stuff mixed in. The Boo sign, that's one of the smaller signs I was talking about. The little tin signs, those are $9. This pretty tea room, life is better with a cup of tea. Assortment of vintage goodies in here. Now you're going to see drawers. You're going to see little cabinets with drawers in here. Oops, I forgot to take this down. I did a vignette earlier. This is actually one of my staging areas. I have a few of them throughout the shop. This is the ephemera corner and other little fun goodies that you'd find maybe in a general store back in the day. We have the nice fountain pens. And these are new, but they're vintage style, so we kind of like that. We've got the little Scrabble tiles, all different letters for 40 cents. These are more for crafting. They're not like the official tiles, They're very light balsa, and we have got a selection of tarot cards. The artworks on these are really a lot of fun. We also have a lot of stickers, more coming out. I got in some more no-sew patches. People love these little patches. They're just $2 each. So you'll find different things within these drawers, magazines, and all this kind of fun stuff. So if you like ephemera, we have that. We have a little office, the official office sign for $8. And a magazine rack has some fun Sports Illustrated in it right now. We have the nice soy melts, all different scents, and again, more soaps. And like I said, there's vintage mixed in this booth, but it's all the new stuff is like I was saying, the candy and the food is on that outer wall, so it's kind of separated in a way. And we have these wonderful Coir soy candles with the cotton-free wick. And we have a lovely assortment of those, as well as some other candles as well. We had a lot of these, but a girl came in and bought them out for her bridal shower. And like I said, we have all the candies here, and it kind of flows together. And we got the fudge back in. I know people love the fudge. That is from Wisconsin, super creamy, super delicious. We have Cooper's Mill, which is out of Ohio. That's from Amish country. We got that back in because everybody kept asking for the apple butter. So we got in the flavors that we really like from that. And we also have a Harry Potter corner as well. And you'll see Harry Potter themed, the wands, the Pez. We have a sorting hat. It doesn't work, but you can wear it. We have a couple of those. Those are the Harry Potter music boxes. They sound wonderful. And we even have some banners and flags from Harry Potter. Snacks. We have snacks. We have what we call the British invasion over here. You see we got the little Union Jack hanging there. We got an assortment of those candies as well, and some fun sodas. Now I'm going to just step back just so you can see what we call the Great Room. And there's one of the banners. We have the different houses. There's Gryffindor. We have what we start out with is Auntie's Attic, and she specializes but not limited to Pyrex. She has a lot of great vintage kitchen goodies. Now when I say these names, you can go back absolutely and look at their last videos that I've done. I've been a little negligent this month with getting the videos done. We had a lot going on, and with my son with school and CAP and everything else. And the social media is a one-woman show, and I also have to, still running the show at the shop while I do this and all the other things. So I wouldn't have it any other way. I do love doing this. I just sometimes don't have the energy to keep doing this sometimes, so to do all the videos. But don't think that we're not here, and if you ever are looking for anything in particular, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. You can find all the ways of reaching us on our bio. This is on Second Thought over here. She specializes in customizing furniture, making old new again and saving it. And then the rest of this area here is Auntie's Attic. Now, you might remember from the last tour we did at the time, the vendor who's in the front, the Bronx Man Cave, was over here in this booth. We decided that his stuff was better suited to a wall like that instead of a booth, because we brought over Relove with Heart, who has a lot of great furniture as well, a lot of larger pieces. And she's still filling in. Relove with Heart was located at Easton Antique. She had 4 booths there, and she recently joined us just a few short months ago and is still in the process of going through the things that she had at Easton Antiques and getting it ready to come into here in the Gray Barn. And like everybody else, we all have things going on. So this booth will continue to be filled in, and she's also been selling, so there's a lot of space from that. Now, Crossmoss's Vintage Crush, she also has a bookcase and a locked case in the shelf room, as well as a shelf in the Berg, which I showed you earlier. And all these vendors that I'm doing back here currently that I'm showing you are 20% off. So, and if you are on any other social media, if you're on Instagram or Facebook, please be sure to like and follow us on those sites as well. I do post often on both of those, on Instagram and Facebook. Facebook, I tend to share links and stuff because Instagram doesn't allow you. So I might put up some like little historical things, coming up events in the area. We have a lot of fun things going on. Byram Day is coming up, which will be over at the Waterloo Village with the canal, the original Waterloo Canal that was actually really interesting, the Morris Canal. I love following that. There's a lot of placards up in New Jersey where you can see where it went through. And they still have the locks there, and they still actually bring in the horses, and they do that with the canal days. And Waterloo Village is absolutely beautiful. That's right over here in Byram. And it's like Williamsburg, but in a much smaller way, and the houses are not always open, but you can still walk around and just kind of enjoy it. It's part of the New Jersey State Parks, so definitely worth a trip if you have the chance to just walk around. I do recommend bug spray, and make sure you do check yourself afterwards for ticks. They do spray, but we do tend to have a lot of ticks when we come out of there, so we're always careful about that and make sure we put on the bug spray. The last time we went, it was early spring. We went on Mother's Day. I actually, knock on wood, I didn't pick any up that day, so that was nice. So these two booths here are Burning Sensation. They have 3 booths. These are the 2 booths on this side of the shop, and I'm standing in Redreamable right now. She also has 2 booths, as well as this. I'm going to show you. She's got this space of the wall as well. She gets a lot of artwork and great mirrors. So this is Redreamable, lots of little stained glass pieces, and we're still in 20% off vendors. So this is one of her 2 booths. And as you might remember the name from when we were in the case room, she had the pine green fairy lamp in that locked case. So we are on the one half of the shop. We are now going to make our turn towards the back. And we are going to go up on the stage, which used to have 3 vendors, and now we are down to 1 vendor up there. Nick has the whole stage. He is good to go. We moved a couple of the bookcases from up there. This used to be books here. Don spent quite a bit of time, and he moved all the books to the back wall and then made more space here, which we were fortuitous because we ended up getting Relove with Heart, and then we found her booth as well, and she still has 2 bookcases here. And Thrifty Rick came and joined us, so we were able to add some new vendors to Gray Barn. So now this is Good to Go on the stage, who I've also done there. His was actually the last tour I did. If you look back last week, I did do a full tour of his booth. We've not seen Nick since then, so not much has changed since I did that tour that day. So I'm imagining we will see him soon. You can see he's got a lot of stuff up here. And the steps are very easy to do. I know a lot of people have sometimes problems with stairs. We have a nice thick railing. The stairs are larger and wider, so I always use the railing, pull myself up, make sure I don't fall going down. It's just 3 steps. So this is a fun area. I love the floor up here. And you can see how high our ceilings are. It's very much like a barn up here. I just want to show you something. So you can get up here to get up to the loft. I mean, this is not for customer use, but Don goes up there for storage and that. And then to get to the other side, he goes across on that plank. Talk about making me nervous. I just always make sure that his life insurance is up to date when he is making that maneuver. Now this light's not for sale, but this one is. So we find, unless we have a light to replace some of the lights that we have, we don't sell them, because otherwise we have some dark spots, and we try not to have that in here. So, and all the lighting that Nick has is for sale in his booth. And you might recall, if you saw the picture the other day or when I did the video last week, that there was a dragonfly lamp there on the right that has since sold. Now, it's a beautiful piece of stained glass. There are some condition issues with it, but he's got it priced because of that. Now, it's clear, you can see some of the little cracks in the glass. We're not missing any glass, but there are some little cracks in it. So, but it's still a beautiful piece of glass. So it would be $85 and then 20% off. So I think that becomes $68. This lovely lamp here is just $100. It does have the blow mold set down there. So we have our vendors bringing in their blow molds as soon as they get them, regardless of the season, what holiday is coming up, because people want them to put them away, because when the seasons do come up, now you can't find them. So now we're going to go, just kind of give you an idea. You can see the shop from up here, the other half of the shop that we're going to go explore shortly. And again, we have a few more vendors over here in between. We have the Christmas area that's all year round that used to be up on the stage, and across the street when we were at 131, it was actually in a closet. We used to have the Christmas closet, and people missed that so much that we made sure we brought Christmas back to 134. People like to collect that all year. So now I'm on Lazy Q. This morning on Instagram and Facebook, I did feature that backgammon game back there that you can see. That's still sealed in the package and has the box. And these are all 20% off vendors back here as well. And there's the Christmas. I'm going to go and turn so we can see our other vendors here. And you're starting to get a peek of Relove with Heart. And you can see she's got a couple blow molds and Barbie case. This vendor here is Thrifty Rick, and he is quite thrifty. Marks stuff down all the time. I featured 2 trays from him this morning, a pewter and silver plated tray for just $6.40. The other day you might have seen the ducks. The wooden ducks were just $9.60 and $8, and they were amazing, and they sold right away. Somebody bought all 4 of them for her lake house. So that's Reloved with Heart on those 2 bookcases. And then we have the books. And a lot of our vendors have books as well. And then we're going to come up on Jazzy Junk, who has 3 booths over on this side and a bookcase here. This is a matched set here of end tables. $95 for the pair and then 20% off. They are very nice. They are wood. Painted very nice, shabby chic. You have the pair of them there. And she's always got a great assortment of everything. This is like the most eclectic booth we have in the shop. Lighting, porcelain, bric-a-brac, knickknacks, you name it. It's been in her booth or she has it now. There is no one particular item that she specializes in. It's a lot of fun and her prices are fantastic. So, and she is also 20% off. So this is the booth number 2. Like I said, we do closer booth tours where I show you a lot more of the items in a person's booth versus just kind of scanning by. So that is booth number 2 from Jazzy Junk. And this right here is Belmont Farmhouse, who is one of our 2 30% off vendors. And most of our vendors come in a few times a week to restock, especially after the weekend. And what I pull from my Wednesday night Facebook Live are usually the things that have been marked down that I find are a fantastic deal. Or a lot of the vendors do come in on Wednesday morning and restock. So I try to bring up some of the new to everybody items, before they can make it through a full weekend, which they usually don't. Check out this gorgeous mirror that she just brought in. It's a vintage little mirror for $35. There is some condition issues on the glass, but just look at this beautiful, I think maybe brass, I'm not quite sure what that is. So, again, she is a 30% off vendor, and that discount is the same for cash or credit. And again, she has an eclectic mix of everything as well. Most of our vendors do, but they do tend to specialize in one style and item, but they bring in a little bit of everything. This is the 3rd booth for Jazzy Junk. And all her lighting fixtures are for sale in her booth. Turn, and then we're going to see Belmont Farmhouse as we do. And it's going to bring us up and over to Pickin' Wildflowers. Now, Jazzy Junk and Pickin' Wildflowers are both 20% off. Belmont Farmhouse, we just visited with, is a 30% off vendor. Pickin' Wildflowers she had the most recent Hoosier in the shop, and that sold online very quickly. So we do tend to post a lot of the furniture pieces when they do come in right away, especially things like Hoosier cabinets, apothecary drawers, because they sell so fast. And often they're being picked up right off of our Instagram and Facebook. They're a local pickup, but we have a lot of people that follow us just to see what's coming in. So, and I don't put that all up on YouTube all the time. So that's why I'm saying if you don't have an Instagram or Facebook account and you want to see what we're putting up there, and you just fear for your own privacy, because Instagram makes it easy. You can just click private, and YouTube is pretty private as well. You don't have to post videos and that. Nobody's going to really come chasing you unless you're posting videos that you won't get the spam. Same thing on Facebook. You can set your privacy, and you can just come on board just to watch and to just come into the shows and purchase during our lives. So you're not missing out on anything as it comes into the shop. You don't have to fill in all that personal information either. And like I said, when it keeps it private, it's private. I don't even have my birth date on mine anymore. And I use a cartoon for my personal page, and I have not been getting any of those issues since I started doing that. So don't fear for your privacy. You can set things up so that you are remaining hidden if you need to, and just so you're not being bothered. Now this is the vanity mirror, just the tray, and that's just $7.20. And she does have the measurements on there. So this is a lot of fun. You can easily use this as a regular frame. I mean, you might have to do a little tinkering with it to get it to sit and adjust right, but it would work. And it's a very unique piece of metal here to do that with. And I just knocked out a light. What did I turn off up there? Something went off. I don't know what I hit. All right. Display cabinet. We have some great display cabinets in here right now. And her lighting that's hanging is for sale, except for this guy that is lit up. It was for sale for the longest time, and nobody bought it, and she needed some lighting, so there it stays until she gets one similar or wants to hang something else there. The stand is not for sale, but the baskets on the sale are. She just brought this one in too. There are some little small bits of rust, but that's to be expected for its age. And that one is actually plastic. This one's metal. And that's just $15.20. I'm surprised this is still here, this pillar. It's hollow, but it's still, for the price, $26 and then 20% off. It's a nice little plant stand for you. And she does have the measurements on there. I love when they put the measurements on the tags for everything. It makes doing these videos for you guys so much easier. So if you're at home, you can get an idea of what the size is. Again, this is Pickin' Wildflower. She is a 20% off vendor. Shortly, I'm going to turn around and we're going to check out the Hip Chick, who is a 30% off vendor. And again, those are the prices off of, it does not say the word firm. Same price for cash or credit card. We do Visa, MasterCard Discover, and Apple Tap Pay in the shop. We take, if you're paying online, we do PayPal, or you can call the shop during business hours and pay safe and securely over the phone. We never write your information down. We don't want your credit card numbers. Please do not send them to us in Messenger or anything. Do not email them to us. Just be prepared to call in every time when you want to buy something, and we'll just input the numbers right away into our safe and secure bank line, which we constantly monitor, so there's no chance of any scanners or anything getting put on there. So this is the Hip Chick, and she is a 30% off vendor on items not marked firm. You can notice a lot of our booths have a lot of furniture for sale in them, smaller pieces. A lot of stuff does come in and goes out pretty quick. This is a great deal on this adorable little kitchen cabinet here. So this is $140 and then 30% off. And I do believe she has the, and then our measurements are on the back. So that's helpful. So this has the two glass doors. It has the drawer here. And then you have the cabinet shelf. Oh, it's got double shelves in the bottom. Got the original paint on it. So that's a nice little cabinet right there. She has a cute little desk. She just brought in this yellow display cabinet. It's missing the glass, but that's fine. It's a pretty little cabinet. And that's $65 and 30% off. I unfortunately cannot ship this. And you can see that our vendors use every inch of space available. That's a good deal on this. It's just $17.50 for the little bird cage. That's a really nice deal. And when I do the Facebook Lives, I try to only have, I've been very good about pulling things that are all shippable. Only occasionally do I have like a small shelf or something for our friends that are local here that I know might be interested in that and want to pick that up. Otherwise, I really do focus on the smalls. And you always have room for more smalls. Okay, so this was the Hip Chick at 30% off. Now we're actually coming up on the exit soon from the back room. Here is Redeemable's second booth. She has this fantastic dough box back here. And the price on it's amazing. It's only $36, and there's the measurements. I did feature it the other day. That lid does go down, so that is a closing little piece. So that's a lot. That's a really nice little piece there. As is this little green piece. A nice piano stool. That must have just came in recently. What she got on that? Wow, that is fantastic. $44. 19 inches tall, 18 inches wide. It does have the little glass ball feet. That is a very good deal. These have been quite, I've seen these going for quite a bit more in other shops. And even coming in here as of late, there's no splits or anything in that wood. That is a fantastic deal on that. Not shippable though. This is a nice little coat rack for just $12. And again, we are currently in Redeemables booth number 2 or number 1, whichever way you happen to run through the shop. And her lighting is also all for sale in this booth, as is her shelving. And all her tables and little chairs. Unless you're looking for something in particular, you will be spending quite a bit of time when you come into our shop. And we have a lot of people that will walk one direction, like I turned left when I came back here, and they'll come up like I just did this way. And then they'll go back, they'll reverse the way they walked, because a lot of times you don't see things the same way when you go that way. So there'll be things that you might have missed. Hey, there's a bench up there. Like I said, every inch of space is used. And again, this is redeemable. It's 20% off. Now we're going to visit with Burning Sensation Antiques larger booth, and the first booth they had with us when they moved in until other space became available, and then they snatched up 2 other booths because they have so much stuff. Trailers full and still shopping. And Ron of Burning Sensation is a carpenter. He's 70, I think he just turned 76. So he does all these unique one-of-a-kind pieces. He did this, we actually have one of these, the wood ironing board shelves. We use it because it's fantastic, the space between it for our displaying the bracelets, the bracelet holders that we have up in the jewelry area. Nice narrow fit right where we needed it. And again, this is Burning Sensation Antiques. They use that name because they actually repair and collect oil lamps as well as rewires lights. But yeah, all the oil lamps that you saw in the other booth, he's got parlor lamps and stuff. They actually work. And you might have seen some of his stuff in the HBO TV show, The Gilded Age. Some of his furniture and lights and stuff made in there, as well as some of our stuff from when we were across the street. They actually shopped this area, and everything had to be from 1882 or before. And when Burning Sensation was over in the Phillipsburg Black Rose Antique Mall, which is no longer there, they bought a lot of his pieces. They had a lot of bigger pieces there, beds and such. And you can see this is mostly like the tools and the trivets, the cast iron, the heavier stuff, more primitives. Lots of great tins. And I'm coming over here because I'm getting ready to make my turn to show you vendor number 1, Andover Junction, who has been with the Gray Barn since before it was the Gray Barn, when it was Slackeyville back in 2002. And then our friend Erin purchased, her and her husband bought 131 Main Street, which they wanted the apartments above it. And they ended up with Slackeyville, and they changed the name in February of 2012 to Gray Barn. And then we purchased the business from them on September 1st of 2013. So that's where we're coming up on our 10-year anniversary. And they gave us that wonderful opportunity, and they started making some great changes from Slackeyville to Gray Barn, and we just kind of took what they started and ran with it. So this is Andover Junction, vendor number 1, and she was also their manager when it was Slackeyville. So she has these 2 bookcases, the little spot there, and then this corner over here as well with this wall. And Andover Junction is Dina Seeley of Seeley Flags, and that is located right around the corner. They provide a lot of the flags for a lot of the schools and a lot of larger companies. They do full pole installation all the way down to smaller flags. They fulfill all your flag needs since, I think it's 1952 or 54. So this is also the flag lady. So if you need a flag, feel free to reach out to Seeley Flags. Again, this was Andover Junction, and like I said, the 2 booths back here that are 30% were the Hip Chick and Belmont Farmhouse. And then like here we have all we do groupings of items from all the vendors to make it easier for our customers to shop. We have a lot of people that come in and they're looking just for handles, doorknobs, and so we used to gather them all, and then we had to put them all back and try to find them. This way, if they're in one spot, we sell a lot of doorknobs. People come in, we have full sets. A lot of people like to replace their, Home Depot low, little inexpensive ones that came with the house with authentic glass. And these are $12.80 for, this is the full set like that, and he is 20% off. We have all kinds of handles and knobs that'll actually work in your doors if you have older doors, or if you're using them for a craft project. This is actually, this you would install through your door. This is in, and the brass, it is not reproduction. This is, again, Burning Sensation. He does the copper and the brass, gets it all polished up like that using the acid dip. It's a Victorian doorbell for $36, and that does work. So if you have an old door, even if you want to just make your home have that great antique appeal, we do have that. And this is a desktop bell for just $24. And again, that is not reproduction. He's just that good at polishing. These are cute little hooks here for just $4. They're new, but they're vintage style. So you just kind of screw them in the wall there, and you have the flower, and then you have that little hook right there. So, and now we are back up at the front. Here is the counter area, and again, more candy. I believe I actually ran out of Hershey bars, so I have to get more of those. And like I said, we are going to have a jewelry show next Thursday the 22nd, this upcoming Thursday, I should say. So like things like this, these do spin. And this is actually from Cherokee Trading Post. It used to be up in Bud Lake. We got a couple of, when they closed up, the kids didn't want to continue the business. We actually purchased a few of their display pieces, and that was one of them. And like I said, we have all the vendors. The costume jewelry is up here for ease of, for you guys to find. And Don has labeled all these drawers, including the weights. The weights are also in one spot, because it's another thing. We'll have people coming in and asking for weights, so it just was easier to put them all in one location for everybody to find. So you can see we have some clip-ons. So we will be doing that show next week. And I think, was there something else that I wanted to point out to you? I'm not quite sure. I don't think we visited over here. We do have some postcards, and some of the vendors will be bringing you more. I do have other, these are the other music boxes. Like I said, we've got the Harry Potter stuff over there, and these are some of the other ones. These are great gifts. We sell out of those all the time as well. And I'm just going to go back up to the front door so we have a place to wrap it up. I will be opening up shortly, so these things roll outside. I got Don that rolling cart a couple years ago. He absolutely loves it. Don loves display pieces, and that's that one. When I found that, he was in heaven for that. So I'm going to wrap up now. Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this tour of the Gray Barn of Andover, New Jersey.